Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to another Solid Edge Productions video. What I'm bringing to you is a politics video today, because obviously, as you know, there's been quite a lot of going on within the politics world. Because obviously, yes, Boris Johnson has resigned. Obviously, that now throws the world, British politics into quite a lot of trouble, because obviously we don't know who's going to be Prime Minister. Obviously, there are some idiots out there that think we should throw it to the public vote. At this stage, no, that's not a wise idea, because obviously you got the Welsh Mr. Dickford wanting it to go to the public vote. We know why that is, because obviously he wants Welsh Labour in there. But if he wants, well, not Welsh Labour, he wants Labour in there. But if we get Labour in, it'll just destroy the economy, upset the whole economy full stop. We can't get Starmer in, because A, he's just as bad as Boris, because A, he should be stepping down now, because he's trying to silence the media from his upset of his in Durham driving 200 miles, having Beergate, which he should have stepped down already for. But that's another story, but what I'm also going to go through with you is we've got a list on the YouGov of the top people to replace Boris. You've got Ben Wallace. He's actually quite a strong candidate, which, yes, I would recommend him. He's quite a good person to replace. But the other one I would actually go for is actually Penny Mordaunt. She's actually really good. She's actually a Brexiteer, which is what we do need in there. Some people say she's listed on the WEF, but it's just because she went to one of their conferences. So I wouldn't read too much into that, because you've got the problem. The problem is, if you get Labour in, 95% of the Labour people are actually signed up to WEF. Within a week, we would be signed up to WEF, and we'd hand over our full liability to them, and we'd be basically run by the WEF, World Economic Forum, for those of you who don't understand who they are. And basically, once you're signed up to them, because you only have to look across the pond to Canada, to Mr. Trudeau, who's handed over his countries to them, and the people aren't too happy, let's be honest, because they own your bank account, they own your livelihood, they basically tell you where you can go, when you can do it. It's pathetic, and they're trying to turn the whole world into this one world order, and I'm sorry, no, we can't bow down to that, because we know Starmer's sucking up to that, and we're not doing it. In Wales, we know that little Marxist idiot's on that, because he's a Corbynite, and we're not having that. Starmer's another Corbynite. We're not having any of that in this country. We've got to stand up. But the other side of it is, you vote Labour in, you lose freedom of speech, you lose your other freedoms. So enjoy that while you've got it. If you want freedom of speech, you want your freedoms, you've got to still vote Tory. That's the other side of things. Yeah, Tories can be stricter on certain things, but you think without Tories, you wouldn't have had certain handouts recently and for the rest of the year with your electricity and your gas, because obviously, yeah, they've given the bailouts for that. I don't think you would have got that under Labour, because it's just not the way they run things. Because just remember when things were handed over to David Cameron, the country was left bankrupt from Gore. It was just a pathetic run of things from the last Labour government, from Gordon Brown time. It was awful. We shouldn't have had a bankrupt country because you had a war criminal with Tony Blair, who still should have gone to jail for what he did, because we shouldn't have been taken to war with Iraq. It's pathetic, and he was never held up. He was supposed to be taken to the council in Europe and held up in front of them, but they pussyfoot around that because he's a lefty, and all the European councils are freaking lefty whinge bags. But for all you lefty whinge bags out there, I think you need your heads checking, because a lot of things have changed recently for the better. Because obviously, you just look at what before Boris went, yeah, he got rid of the gender neutral toilets. That's for the better, because you shouldn't have gender neutral fucking toilets, because they're not a safe space. You can't class them as a safe space. They're more likely for women to get raped. Whoever thought of that was stupid, and us in the Northwest took more of them on in our hospitals and stuff like that. Yeah, bright idea that was, and now we're having to backtrack and put them all back to male and female, which yes, it should be. Male toilet, female toilet, only females go in the female, only males go in the male. Not rocket science, because there are only two real genders, male, female. But just go back to the other candidates there are, because in third place you do have Rishi Sunak. I don't really rate him, because the problem is there are issues with him, with tax issues, especially with his missus. Got Liz Truss. I wouldn't go for her. Michael Gove, again, I wouldn't go with Michael Gove, just because the way he went on that rant the other day. I wouldn't trust him to run the country. Dominic Raab, again, I do like the fella. He is quite a good guy. There's Tom Tungnat. I don't know much about him, but Jeremy Hunt, no way would we want him. He's a complete backstabber, anti-Brexiteer. We wouldn't want him in the running the country. Nadim Zahawi, potentially an okay candidate. Sajid Javid, again, I wouldn't go for him. Priti Patel, spineless. Wouldn't go for Priti Patel. She hasn't got enough backbone. And Stephen Barclay was the last one. Again, I don't think he's a strong enough candidate. It's got to be one of the top two, Ben Wallace or Penny Mordaunt, because again, they're probably the strongest two. They're both Brexiteers, which is what we need, especially as we have gone through Brexit. We need someone to continually see that through. We don't want someone like who will undo what we've gone through. That's the issue, because if we undo everything that's been done, that's the other thing. You can't trust Starmer to get back in, because if Starmer got back in, because we know when we were going through Brexit, he was flip-flopping left, right, with his, I don't want us to go through Brexit, don't want us to go through Brexit. It was literally 48 times he kept going, I don't want us to have Brexit, don't want us to have Brexit. Fuck off, you can't be doing that. The people voted Brexit, just like up in Scotland. You're not having another fucking referendum. They voted once. It's a once in a lifetime vote to stay in the British United Kingdom. You're not having a second referendum. But that's the way things are. But it's like you've got other things where the other YouGov polls that have come out, when they've put like different people against different ones. They put like Wallace against Liz Truss. Obviously Wallace always comes out on top. Wallace against Mordaunt. It was Wallace won that. It seems to be Wallace wins all of them, which is pretty significant thing. So, But I would say it's looking more like if the people got their say on the Tory thing, which obviously sadly we don't, it would be Wallace. But I would say will be, it's more likely the Tories will go for either Wallace or Penny Mordaunt, but only time will tell. But just got to see what happens in the coming weeks, potentially months, because they're saying it could be by October they install the new Prime Minister, but sooner the better because this country needs stabilising. But as I say, we can't have the vile left in, because we do, this country's going to fall over, and we will hand the keys over to the devil effectively. Had we not had COVID, I think things would have happened differently, and all this wouldn't have happened. But in hindsight, obviously, there's no way we could predict that. But it's just a tough way things have gone. But all I can say is thanks for watching, and just keep liking my videos and subscribing. I will try and keep you updated with any further information. Thank you very much. Bye bye.